The market is trending, or the job market, I would say, is trending in this direction where you're not constrained by your workplace. You don't necessarily have to go into an office anymore. People really like the remote option or virtual option, so to speak. Also, people kind of like a hybrid setting. Maybe they'll want to spend some time at home and maybe go to the office. And for the longest time, for some reason, businesses rejected kind of flexible options, yet the pandemic obviously thrown onto all of us. A lot of people realize that maybe we don't have to be stuck in these constraints and that we could still run efficiently, and my workers and employees can be happy, or individual workers can be happy and fulfilled and be in control of their careers more so, or their business operations more so. And for me personally speaking, I just love being able to select and choose who to work with. Like, and I have the luxury and fortune of being able to travel for my line of freelancing because I have to go outdoors to kind of see different things happening. I've visited fracking sites. I've seen bear conservation in the flesh. I've seen different things, and my job requires me to travel, and I love it. So it's not just tedious work where I'm just stuck at home working from my computer. I'm actually having to see things in the field, which I really love. And I think in other industries too, where freelancers work, they can also determine and fine tune different activities where they can enjoy the work they do. So your work is not stuffy and boring, and you're fun and you're feeling fulfilled and you're happy and you get to explore the country. You get to work with phenomenal people. And so you don't really get that sometimes in a traditional workplace sometimes. Yes, you do get to travel. I used to travel a lot for my old job, excuse me. But like for this, I get to choose like my travel schedule. I get to choose where I get to go. I'm not just told by dictate, like you have to go here. I get to pick and choose my accommodations. I get to pick and choose different things and activities to do on the side once my work responsibilities are fulfilled. I try to enjoy my travel when I go for work, because work travel should be fun and enjoyable. I fully believe that. And
Definitely.
yeah, and let's say like you want to get married and start a family. It's really easy to withdraw yourself from the workforce when you're participating in the gig economy or freelance economy, because you could say, I'm going to pause my business to raise my child. I'm going to go on maternity leave for a few months, or I'm going to go on maternity leave for 6 months or a year. And then you can come back to your business. You can alert your clients that you're returning and say, hey, I'm back open for business. Let's resume where we left off, especially if you have great relationships with the clients you work with. And you don't really get that much sometimes in a traditional work setting. I know a lot of people have said like, well, there has to be improved family paid leave. There has to be this, or I work too much. I don't feel like I can focus on my family. So with these flexible options coming into play, I think you're going to see more conversations about accommodations for better policies to make it easier for people to choose what's best for them, to give them more time off. And like I said, people don't want constraints. They want freedom to choose who they work with, where to work, how to work. They love the flexibility that comes with this. This is universally accepted among all Americans, regardless of age, race, sex, geographical location, education status, and even work level experience. So this is one unifying, I would say, sector of the economy. And I think it's even part of the greater decentralization movement. And people really shrug at that term. They shrug at it because of, let's say, like digital currency, like non-fungible tokens. And while I don't dabble into Bitcoin, I'm very sympathetic to it being able to exist because it is a decentralized form of currency and of the economy too, kind of like gig work is. And so I can at least symbolically support it because government is trying to regulate it and put constraints on it and not allow it to flourish. And same what they're doing with the freelance economy. So decentralization should be welcomed and embraced in many tenets and facets of life. I'm a firm believer in that. I know some watching may not share that, but I think when you offer people these decentralized options, whether it's a format or a decentralized form of currency, it gives people greater latitude to do what they want to do and to not harm anyone and to live freely. I think in the United States, we should be able to still have those options and really inspire the rest of the world to adopt similar measures too, and to allow for worker freedom. And yeah, like I said, let's not make decentralization a dirty term. I think that's been a longstanding tradition in the United States. It should be a tradition here. Like our families experienced in the Soviet Union. I know my family did. Everything was so centralized. And for me to not embrace that, I think, is making my relatives who had suffered very, very proud. And I think they would be very encouraged by seeing what I'm doing now, even though they're not here on earth anymore. They're deceased,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And so kind of honoring my family as a first generation American, I think this is a way to showcase to people that we have these options available to us. Many parts of the world don't, or they're very highly regulated. And if we can't allow this last bastion of freedom through the freelance economy to really explore your entrepreneurial chops to flourish, and you see more constraints placed on it, more regulations, more red tape to make it harder for you to work flexibly, or to be labeled as a traditional employee when you're not, we could descend into some very, very dark paths. And we don't want to see that here in the United States. But like I said, if you want to join a union and be an employee, go ahead. But also give us the latitude in the freelance economy to identify and work the way that we want to work. So that's kind of what I wanted to conclude on.